Good morning and welcome to another episode of A Little Dash of Therese. Today we are going to be making a flourless chocolate torte. What you're going to need today is some chocolate chips, butter, heavy cream and eggs, a double boiler system, a mixing bowl, cooking pot, a cake pan with a larger pan to do a water bath, some measuring cups. You're going to need some fresh coffee, brown sugar, and a scale. And you don't need a big scale like the one I have. You can find a small scale. Just something that weighs up to a couple pounds is good enough. And that is the recipe written out. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is preheat our oven to 350 degrees. So, first off, we're going to get our butter, brown sugar, and coffee measured out. So you need 8 ounces of butter, which is 2 sticks worth of butter, or half a pound. Right into the pan. And then we need 4 ounces of brown sugar. And my brown sugar kind of dried out, but that's okay. Still got 4 ounces. Right into the pan. And then we need 4 fluid ounces, or half a cup of coffee. Then into the pan. Now we're going to put our saucepan on about medium-high heat, and we want that to come to a full boil. Next thing we're going to do is measure out 8 ounces of our semi-sweet chocolate chips. The rest of the chocolate chips is what we'll use to make the ganache. Then we'll just put that in our larger mixing bowl. Also, don't forget to enjoy your fresh brewed coffee as you cook. Next up, we're going to beat 4 eggs lightly. Remember to give the brown sugar, coffee, and butter mixture a stir. Make sure everything's melting nicely and nothing is burning to the bottom of the pan. And this is almost ready. You want to make sure the sugar is fully melted before moving to the next step. And perfection. To do a water bath, you need to put a kettle of water on to boil. Now we're going to dump our liquid mixture over the chocolate chips. We're going to give that a good mixing. Oops. To make sure everything incorporates smoothly, bust out a whisk because you want the chocolate solids to be nice and smooth. What you're looking for is a smooth, glossy texture. That's how you know everything is well mixed and that the chocolate fats and solids have broken down into a smooth, creamy texture. Now we're going to temper the eggs by taking a little bit of the hot chocolate mixture and slowly adding them to the egg while whisking so as not to scramble the egg. And I am not left-handed. Okay. Next step we're going to do is spray our baking pan and line it with some parchment paper. This makes for a easy removal of the torte. And now time to put the batter into the cake pan. Alright, now that our water's come to a boil, we're going to put our cake pan inside the big baking dish and carefully pour in the boiling water about halfway up the sides of the pan. Now we're ready to go into the oven for about an hour. Be sure to use hot pads as the pan will be hot from the water. Forgot to record this part, but our torte is done. The best way to tell if your torte is done, you want to take a toothpick, stab it into the center, and if it comes out with clean or with very few crumbs, your torte is done. So we removed it to a wire rack to cool. First we're going to take a saucepan, put in some water, and I'm just using the leftover water from the kettle. We'll put our double boiler in. We're going to turn that onto medium heat. We're going to dump our chocolate chips in. And then I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. Now keep in mind this is roughly 2 tablespoons to 4 ounces of chocolate. Start low because you can always add more. You can't take anything out. what we're looking for our ganache to be ready is a nice smooth sheen. It won't be as smooth as if you're tempering chocolate, but you still want it pretty smooth. And as you can see, we're there. Now that our torte has chilled, I threw mine in the freezer by the way, but you want to let this chill for about half hour, possibly even overnight. In fact, overnight might be best. But I don't have time for that today. So now that our torte is popped out of the cake pan, which if you struggle to get yours out, don't worry, it's not you. These suckers can take a little bit of elbow grease to get out of the pan without breaking them. We're now going to take our ganache and pour it. You want to dry your double boiler so you don't get water on it. But we're going to take our ganache and pour it over our torte. We're going to give it a nice little spread around. And we're just going to evenly spread it across the torte. And you can let some run down the sides, give it a nice little drizzle effect. Then you'll want to let that chill for a couple hours and then it's ready to go. Enjoy!